What is going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. We are going to talk about some very specific mods. Galvanized mods. These mods came out with arbitrations. Now, arbitrations basically, if memory serves, came out basically around the same time as the Steel Path. So in order to do arbitrations, you had to unlock the entire base star chart. So I could be, well, no, it wouldn't have been the Steel Path because these were, you were able to get these with Grendel. Well, you could do arbitrations to get Vetus Essence to go get the Grendel coordinates and go do those bullshit missions. So just somewhere in that timeline. We're going to say the 2019, 2020 timeline. So either way, what we're looking at with Galvanized mods, and I'm sorry about the ephemera that I'm running, because apparently it's just going to sit here and just rain or shine across the mods. Galvanized mods are some very interesting fucking mods. Okay? So they are pistol, rifle, and shotgun mods. So Galvanized scope. On a headshot, 120% critical chance. So it's basically like, oh, fuck me, I can't remember what the name of the normal one is. But it's a slightly lesser critical chance than what the normal scoped mod is for a rifle. You know, when you're aiming, when aiming for 12 seconds. So basically, on a headshot, as long as you've aimed for 12 seconds, you get a boosted critical chance. But on a headshot kill, you get 40% crit chance. When aiming for 12 seconds, it stacks up to 5 times. So you get 40% times 5. So you're 200% crit chance buff if you get basically 5 headshot kills. And this will continually keep clocking over and over and over and over. Such a good time. So if you're all about that headshot life, or if you're using incarnate weapons that really require a lot of headshots, Galvanized scope is definitely something to think about. Galvanized chamber. Instead of Hell's Chamber, you get Galvanized Chamber. So instead of having 90% just true multi-shot, you get 80% multi-shot, but on a kill, you get 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds. It can also stack up to 5 times. So we're talking 150% multi-shot buff after you get 5 kills. Or once you get 5 kills, and then again, it will keep rolling the clock. It will keep rolling that multiplier. Shotgun, Galvanized Hell. Same thing as Galvanized Chamber. Galvanized Aptitude. Instead of Rifle Aptitude, it's Galvanized Aptitude. It's 10% less than their normal status chance buff, but on kills, 40% direct damage per status type affecting the target. This is where I was talking about Darija being a massive status spreading utility sentinel. Because you can mod a weapon for like upwards of 3 damages, at least 2, coupled with the physical damages, and these are all potential status effects that can apply. And then Darija is also applying multiple status effects. Every single status effect that is applied to an enemy that is killed, you get a 40% buff of direct damage per that status type. So let's say you've got Darija with 3, and then your primary is doing 3. So your rifle is doing 3. So you've got 6 status effects. Okay, so it's 240% base damage buff for 20 seconds on any enemy, and this stacks up to times 2, so that 240 goes to 480. So this shit gets real crazy because it doesn't specify that. Sorry, my chair's been acting up. So it doesn't specify that, hey, your weapon has to be the thing that has to apply status. Just it has to be afflicted with status. See what I'm saying here? Now, I will say that when it comes to the shotgun and the rifle and the pistol, so you get Galvanized Savvy, Galvanized Aptitude, Galvanized Shot, they don't always work as you would hope. Sometimes the effect is less, okay? So it's one of those you kind of have to work by taste and go on accordingly. Same as Galvanized Aptitude, this is for shotgun. Galvanized Acceleration. So instead of having Fatal Acceleration being 40% projectile speed, you get 30% projectile speed, but when you get a kill, 30% projectile speed beam length. Good times. So you get an additional 30% plus 30%, so you get a super long reach with a weapon that stacks up to ×2. So you can get an additional 60% on top of the base 30% projectile, speed that you've already gotten before, or beam length. So this is really, really good for shotguns, because fall off with shotguns can be a huge problem. Crosshairs is just like Galvanized Scope, except it's for pistols. Galvanized Diffusion, just like Galvanized Chamber for rifles. Galvanized Shot, just like Galvanized Savvy and just like Galvanized Aptitude. And then obviously I have that extra one. Now there are some other mods, okay? Specifically, Adaptation. This is a mod that most people just don't know exists, or if they do know it exists, they have no fucking clue to where to get it. Adaptation is an arbitration drop. Obviously a rare mod drop, but it's a rotational drop mod that you get from running arbitrations. And arbitrations are all endless missions. Typically your easiest ones to do are take a very tanky frame in and go in and do like an infested survival. Very easy. I mean, you can do any of the survivals, but the infested survivals, they're just fucking meat bags, so they're usually really easy to kill, and you can run them for a very extended period of time. And in doing so, you're going to get mods, you're going to get arcanes, Vetus Essence, Endo, and sculptures. That is the primary function of running arbitrations, truthfully, is the Vetus Essence, the Endo, and the sculptures. The arcanes are kind of whatever, it's not great, but they're alright. But adaptation, when damaged, 10% resistant to that damage type for 20 seconds. Stacks up to 90 times. Or 90% 90 times. Man, that would be nice, wouldn't it? So basically you can get 90% damage resistance for 20 seconds. Now, here's the issue that people get kind of twisted on this. Adaptation works for 1 damage. It does not sit there and give you resistance to every single damage type that hits you. It specifically says to that damage type. So the first damage that hits you is where that resistance is going to start building up. So one can only hope that it's slash or heat or something like that. That's not going to be some sort of debuff or DOT bleed on you. Or toxin or something like that. So one would hope that adaptation would catch that first, but adaptation is a lifesaver in many, many, many ways. But where the Vetus Essence can really come in handy is something like Rolling Guard. This is for squish frame builds, something like Revenant, for example. Become invulnerable for 3 seconds and remove all status effects. So for some reason your Mesmer skin goes down and you didn't die from a status proc that you just took. If you roll, you automatically become invulnerable to all damage for 3 seconds. And it takes all of the status effects that you may have been hit by off of you. And it only has a 7-second cooldown. So unless you're just being bombarded and you're doing absolutely nothing, it's gonna be a thing. And then another one. If you have a frame like, let's say, Loki or Titania, or any kind of frame that you're not so much worried about modding for specific like Prime Sure-Footed or a very specific Axillus, you also have something like this. 100% maximum energy filled on spawn. Now, I can't begin to tell you how handy that is for certain frames and certain mission types, specifically like relic cracking or like my Mirage Sanctuary Onslaught ESO build, where every time I go into a zone, I have max energy to start, so I can just automatically start casting and help buffing and basically, affinity sponging everybody so I can rank them up quickly. Because that's what I do. I like doing that. It's a fun time for me. But yeah. There's just all sorts of goody goods there, right? There's also, if we go and we visit, let's just say, we go and we visit the Arbiters of Hexis. If I would hit the button, dear God. Excuse me. Hey, fellas, I want to come say hi.
What can we do to help your
My God.
journey?
I would just hit the right button. Let's go visit the Arbiters of Hexis really quick. Arbiters. So when you sit here in the judgment chamber, if you try to talk to them, they're going to get pissy. But if you come back here to the dude by the door that has the little drone, which is an arbitration drone, come talk to this fella. This fella's your buddy.
Honors await you.
Can you stop talking so I can show people? So you have sharpshooter on a headshot. Kill plus 15 energy. It's useful. That's on a sniper rifle, but it's useful. Cautious Shot. This is one for AoE weapons that can stagger you so you don't have to run prime sure-footed. Power Donation. You lose 30% ability strength. Squad mates gain 30% ability strength. Just saying. That actually is helpful with some stuff, especially like, you know, a speed build. You know, you can absolutely dip the shit out of your ability strength and then boost the hell out of your squad. Vigorous Swap. On equip, 165 damage for 3 seconds. Something like Eidolon hunting, that's helpful. Or, you know, like if you're trying to like one-tap the shit out of an Archon or something like that. Rolling Guard we showed, Preparation we showed. Aerial Ace, refresh your double jump up to 6 times while airborne. Bending Shot. Shoot a health orb and to obtain them with 110% extra effect. Energizing Shot, same fucking thing. And then, of course, the Galvanized mods. You can get other stuff here. You can get a Bleeding Body Ephemera. You can get the Blazing Step Ephemera. You can get some skins, things like that. You know, and then you can get just some base stuff like the Grundle location stuff, which, oh, I forgot, somebody traded me that. So basically, if you have, you know, 25 Vita or 75 Vita Essence, you can get all 3 of the locators to go try to get Grundle's parts. And just understand that that is 100% unmodded except for... Can you guess it? Except for augment mods. Typically, Hildren or Lavos are usually your best buddies on that stuff. Just saying. So, but that's some basic mods that are very, very handy, and the easiest way to get them 100%, unless you just, for some strange reason, want to spend plat, is just go run arbitrations. And once you've beaten the base star chart, arbitrations are right here. Right here, Survival Infestation at Neptune. Oh, look at that, the frame I have. Well, that's annoying. The Cernos, the Lecter, or the Kreska, that's a waste of my time. But yeah, an Infested Survival. 50,000 credits plus some Vita Essence, and in every rotation, so every 5 minutes, you get another drop of something. So arbitrations are a very, very, very good endo farm. Probably the best endo farm in the fucking game. So I'm going to think for a minute on what other stuff I can cover here for you that'll be... Oh, I know. Helminth. That'll be the next video. So, folks, thanks very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?